With great power comes great responsibility. And it's our responsibility to pick the greatest Spider-Man movie of all time. It's a tough choice because there are a lot of them. And how does the newest one, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, stack up in the all-time rankings? Stick with us and find out. Get it? Stick? Because he's sticky, like a spider. Okay, whatever. Here they are, our Spider-Man movie rankings from worst to best. Number 13, The Amazing Spider-Man II. This is the one that killed the Andrew Garfield franchise after just 2 films, leading Sony to broker a deal with Marvel. So it did have an undeniable impact. Amazing Spider-Man 2 features another heartfelt performance from Garfield as Peter Parker, and it brings the death of Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy to the screen in a heart-wrenching manner. But it also gets mired in a convoluted backstory involving Peter's parents. Jamie Foxx's Electro is a worse version of Jim Carrey's Riddler, and all the Sinister Six setup is distracting, and ultimately a dead end anyway. Number 12, Spider-Man 3. Despite the massive amount of dough this trilogy capper made, Spider-Man 3 suffers from its sizable cast, most notably the shoehorning in of Venom. Oh, and Peter Parker actually punches his girlfriend in the face, and Eddie Brock prays for Jesus to kill Peter Parker. Not exactly a recipe for success. Still, there's some cool stuff here, like Thomas Hayden Church's fantastic, if underused, Sandman, and the continuing thread of the Harry and Peter emotional roller coaster, which is finally paid off in this film. Number 11, Avengers Endgame. We have to at least mention Avengers Endgame, even if Peter was dusted for most of the film. Admittedly, he's not in the movie much, but our boy gets warmly welcomed back by his mentor, Tony, who worked so hard to get him and the others back. And Spidey does have a great little sequence trying to escape with the Stark Gauntlet, and he's present for Iron Man's death scene. I'm not crying, you're crying. We're crying. Number 10, Captain America: Civil War. The wallcrawler made his highly anticipated MCU debut in Civil War, which, yes, we know is not a Spider-Man standalone film. But Spidey is arguably the best thing in the movie. He not only steals Cap's shield, he pretty much steals his film, too. Tom Holland captures what makes teenager Peter Parker such a sweet, great hero and leaves the audience wanting more. Absolutely nailing a pivotal introduction for both himself and Spider-Man in the MCU. Marvel managed to reboot the character in a fresh and exciting way and make fans excited to see the web-slinger on the big screen again. Number 9, The Amazing Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man's approach to the franchise reboot was underwhelming, giving us yet another origin story just 10 years after the last one and 5 years after Spider-Man 3. Its saving grace is the pairing of Garfield and Stone, whose romance left audiences captivated, even while Spidey's battle against the Lizard is pretty much a non-starter. It didn't help that this version of Spider-Man is kind of a jerk, too. Number 8, Avengers Infinity War. Civil War may have introduced Tom Holland's new Spider-Man, but Infinity War truly fleshed him out as an integral part of the MCU. Not only does he get the best snap death scene, but his relationship with Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man is also one of the core aspects of Infinity War. As Tony grapples with the idea of fatherhood, or at least father figurehood, and then loses his surrogate son who literally slips away through his fingers. There is a lot going on in Infinity War, but Peter's desire to not just impress Tony Stark, but also to just do the right thing is one of the film's key components. Plus, we finally got the Iron Spider suit! Number 7, Spider-Man Far From Home. Thanks to its sweet humor, clever commentary, and deft action set pieces, Spider-Man Far From Home continues the journey of Peter Parker from kid hero to Tony Stark's successor. The movie sets the table for some exciting adventures ahead for Spider-Man and his place in the MCU, pitting him against an antagonist who preys on Peter Parker's fears and insecurities in ways no other villain quite has yet. Far From Home ends Marvel Phase 3 with a hell of a bang, thrusting its young wallcrawler into a treacherous but hugely exciting new era. Number 6, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Picking up kinda sorta from the ending of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Gwen pulls Miles away from Earth 1610 and into the nexus of all Spider-Worlds. This movie shows us the more ominous side of the anything is possible credo from the triumphant first Spider-Verse movie. Both Gwen and Miles hit emotional crossroads as Oscar Isaac's Spider-Man 2099 forces everyone to reconsider what canon really means, as well as the true weight of the Spider story. If that's a bit heavy for you, there are tons of cameos from across the extremely meta multiverse that range from amazing to spectacular. The revolutionary Spider-Verse art style is turned up even higher in Across the Spider-Verse, expanding on the already stunning visuals. Okay, quick break, but when we come back, we'll get into the top 5 and which Spider-Man movie is getting the top spot. Stick around and find out. Number 5, Spider-Man Homecoming. As with the very best of the wallcrawler's Marvel stories, Spider-Man Homecoming is a winning combination of a fun superhero adventure with a heartwarming story about a regular kid dealing with some very relatable issues. It's a sweet, witty, briskly paced romp that captures everything that's made Peter Parker and his costumed alter ego such a lovable and enduring character for over half a century. Plus, positioning the film as a high school movie in the vein of a John Hughes film gives it a unique and welcome flavor. Number 4, Spider-Man. If Blade launched the new wave of superhero movies and X-Men made them viable, Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man launched them into the stratosphere. The dynamic between Peter, Norman, Harry, and Mary Jane is incredibly well played, but more importantly, Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker is identifiable and his origin is handled perfectly. The movie itself is a fantastic superhero yarn, but it's worth noting the film came out less than a year after the 9/11 attacks. Spider-Man gave us a true hero to root for in an increasingly cynical time, and the movie's incorporation of the spirit of New York City became one of its defining aspects. Number 3, Spider-Man II. Upon its release, Spider-Man II became the new superhero movie by which all others would be judged. This film pits the web-slinger against Dr. Octopus, who was given his own emotional journey from Peter's mentor to supervillain. But the movie also encompasses Spider-Man in a way no other Spidey cinematic outing has, showing the character's true struggle with being a hero and being a man, inspiring hope in the city and sacrificing his own happiness. It's a complex journey for every single character involved, and it's all balanced with utterly thrilling action sequences. This is a Spider-Man movie that delivers on every level, and it's hard to be topped. Number 2, Spider-Man No Way Home. Tom Holland's Peter Parker reaches perhaps his greatest adventure yet when he faces villains and friends from all over Spider-Man movie history. This film featured Spider alums Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as they teamed up with their fellow Peter Parker to take down some notable villains you saw elsewhere in this list. Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, Jamie Foxx's Electro, Willem Dafoe's Norman Osborn, and more. This movie is more than fan service though. As we see how our other Peter Parkers are doing, MCU Peter is forced to face high consequences that absolutely flip his life and the rest of the MCU at large. Number 1, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse's expansion into the realm of the multiverse basically allows for a Spider-Man Avengers, for lack of a better term, opening up a whole new world for Miles Morales and Peter Parker to explore. Taking a bold departure from the Pixar animation style we've come to expect from mainstream animated films, Into the Spider-Verse delivers a dynamic visual experience not like anything seen before, along with an inspiring message.
Anyone can wear the mask. You could wear the mask. If you didn't know that before, I hope you do now.
Thanks for watching, and for even more Spider-Man, here's 9 brand new details from that Sony Spider-Man 2 gameplay trailer. So definitely check that out, and don't forget to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.